Hi, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of Father Knows Something. And we have, not only do we have Morgan and Justin, but we got a present while we were gone. So, Audrey, we want to reach out to you and thank you for the wonderful caricatures that you did.
They're so good.
And I have to tell you guys, the note that she wrote me was very touching. I was very excited about it. Audrey is actually a caricaturist.
I know. I'm like, wait, can you come and draw guests at our wedding? It's so good. It's so good.
Is she magnificent?
Really cool. So like the little horse too. Are you kidding me? Justin in his space suit.
So I actually wrote her back or talked to her.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. I was so thankful that I said that when I come back to Alexandria, Virginia, which I go about once or twice a year, that I would love for her to come down and I'd like to buy her lunch and meet me.
So good. It's so just amazing.
So,
well, you'll have to arrange that.
I'm definitely.
You might see her sooner if I say, hey, can you come draw guests at our wedding?
Well, I'll race you.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see who wins.
We'll see who wins the race.
Look at that pilot jacket, Jerry. Do you have one like that?
I did.
You should get one for sure.
I did have one. I don't have it anymore.
That's a good look for you.
Yeah,
with the scarf too.
Can I put these down?
You sure can.
I don't want to get it with coffee on
I know. Well, today I'm really excited for today's theme. Since Justin and I have been talking about weddings, we've gotten a lot of wedding write-ins. So this might have to be two parts because you guys, you're kind of in the wedding trenches with us. And
it's that season.
It's that season, that time of year. The chaos is about to begin. And what are we doing? Not stressing. Whose takes are we going to get? Dad's on what we should do.
Is there stress going on right now?
I'm not stressed at all. Which some would find concerning, considering we have a lot to plan still. But we're going to get into today's stories.
So we're going to get going.
Yeah, we're going to do it up.
Okay. Number one.
Hi, Dad, Justin, and Morgan. I have been a fan of both podcasts since the beginning and could really use some guidance from an outside perspective. I, 23 female, believe I am getting engaged soon based on clues from my boyfriend, which is super exciting and I'm ready to start the next chapter. However, when I start to think about the future, wedding planning, etc., I'm upset because I am currently estranged with one of my closest family members and can't imagine her not being there for me on my special day. Changing names for privacy, my cousin is a 21-year-old female. We'll call her Mary. I do not have a sister, but we have been close our entire lives, and I would consider her a sister to me. She started dating this man, also 21, we'll call him Sam, about 2 years ago. Not long after dating him, Mary moved in with him, and things were going well. However, after about a year of dating, Sam went away for a month for his military training. During this time, Mary found screenshots of Tinder on his laptop. She then proceeded to move out and cut contact with him. After a couple of months, Sam found a way to contact her and convinced her that he had changed and would not make the same mistakes. Since this event, they have moved in together and have broken up twice more. For the entire duration of the relationship, Mary would text and call me crying constantly about how he was mistreating her, whether it was lying, having a wandering eye, belittling her, etc. I have done my best to give advice and bite my tongue in certain situations. However, I recently decided I could not listen to this anymore after she decided to take him back for a fourth time. I think fourth, but I don't know, I've lost count. I then told her off and we haven't spoken since early December. I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place because I care about her, yet I don't agree with her choices. It pains me to distance myself from her, especially during this time of our lives. On the other hand, if I stay in contact, it is deteriorating my mental health. She has since tried to reach out to me, but I have ignored her advances because I know she is still with Sam. She was the person who I would have chosen to be my maid of honor. the person who I told everything to. I'm at a loss for what to do and desperately need y'all's help on if I should let her back in or go on in my life without her. Ideal outcome, my cousin recognizes that she is better off without him and we can mend our relationship.
Why do people come to this show? What is our theme? Why you come talk to me? This is a safe place. You are allowed to come here and we are going to hear you out. We're going to listen and it's a safe place. I'm not going to judge you. Would you say that is a correct thing? Do we judge our people?
Of course not.
Of course not. And she's coming to you and it's getting exhausting because you have an emotional, stake in the game. You got skin in the game. You have your love, a friendship. She's your sister. You're frustrated. She's making this mistake consistently. And you're not being non-judgmental. You're not only taking it, but you're giving her your real thoughts because you are passionately involved that you love her. That's the bottom line. I only wish that you could be a little more non-judgmental with her, that you can just accept her for whatever her mistakes are and let her do her thing. But you can't. It's too hard for you. I think you should tell her to be a write-in for the show and let
Honestly,
and let her
let Dad give her the tough love.
And I will certainly have. I mean, that was my first thing, is that get her to write into the show, and when she comes to you and say, something, evidently you don't like my thought, but here's a place where you can go get some other impact and let's see what happens.
Yeah.
But that aside, you love her and you're going to have to be able to be a friend of hers and just not be judgmental.
I don't know if it's necessarily judgment. It feels like it's just becoming a lot. You can only support someone and comfort someone and talk to someone about the same problem so many times before you get to a point of
exhaustion.
This is insanity.
Yeah.
And it is detrimental to your mental health. So I completely get where you're coming from. I think if you want to have a relationship with her, you kind of just need to sit her down and say, hey, I love you. I want to have a relationship with you, but I can't hear about Sam anymore.
I can't deal with it.
This is a boundary for me. I've been told again and again and again by you, he doesn't treat you right. He's not faithful to you, XYZ, all these crazy reasons or whatever she's been telling you. And you can just say, I know you deserve better. And it's very hard for me to hear. It is detrimental to my mental health. And I love you. I don't want to not have a relationship with you, but I can't hear about Sam anymore.
And I think that's the right approach. You just basically say, whatever you do with Sam is your business. I just can't be a part of it.
And it's hard because you don't want to cut her off completely to where she feels like she doesn't have anyone if things do really go south with him. And it's hard to leave these relationships. I mean, we've seen it again and again and again. It's just a matter of time until she realizes she deserves better.
That's right.
And she's only 21. This is the first relationship, real one she's been in. And she thinks this is what love is. And you have to work this hard and fight for it. You don't, but we all have to learn that lesson.
We all learn when you hold them
Most
and
of us.
when you fold them.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting how weddings bring out almost a reevaluation of all your relationships in your life.
Absolutely.
Where when it's your wedding, all of a sudden it's like, oh, I always thought I'd have XYZ, all these different people at my wedding, but I've just lost touch. Our friendships have evolved to where, we kind of evolved out of each other's lives. But, because I'm having a wedding, they were such a big part of my early life that I can't imagine them not being there. And it makes you almost want to revive things or bring things back that aren't necessarily good for you just for the sake of that wedding day, which is a normal thing that we all tend to do. But I think it's also, I would look at it as, are you wanting to reconnect because, in wedding planning and all of this, it made you think, oh man, I really do love what we have and I need to sort this out with her? Or is it simply I need to have her at my wedding.
For the optics. To me, it seems like it's more relationship because for a woman, like who you envision as your maid of honor, you think about this for a long, long time. And if they're, cousins, but basically sisters, it would be like you and Josie being estranged and Josie not being involved. Like that is one of your closest, most dearest people.
Yeah.
And so I think this big event is kind of putting it in a perspective of like, I need her in my life. Like this isn't okay. And weddings can do that. I think they get you really thinking. It feels like the ghosts of Christmas past, present, and future, but like the wedding version, at least that's how it's been for me. It just kind of gets you analyzing things and like making you recognize like, oh, I need to make, so-and-so more of a priority, or I'm sad about her not being there. Wish that friendship wouldn't have gone south. Like it does get you thinking.
When I think of marriage and the excitement of getting married, and you guys have your own experience, I look at my experiences. I am so excited about even thinking about that process, that being with that person and us being able to continue our life, but walking down life hand in hand, knowing that that everybody else is a sideshow to the whole thing. I'm more focused on the fact I've actually found the person that I want to go take that step with. Would be more excited about buying the ring. And I know that you were excited about that. The wedding to me, and I'm not saying they're not important, but I think we get lost in them.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's more important to just the fact of just the immediate unit of having that person's hand in my hand.
Yeah. I mean, that's totally cool. It's just with her and her cousin,
Mm-hmm.
I think you can separate the two, like you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Focus on your day. You gotta, if wedding planning made you feel like you need to reconnect and figure out this relationship, then 100% do it. It doesn't have to be solved before the wedding.
Should be solved now.
This isn't, don't overthink this one.
I mean, is it going to completely throw your whole day off if you invite her and she brings him so that you can have her there? These are things you got to figure out, but I would start working on the relationship if you want her in your life, which it really does sound like you do, but don't force it to be solved by the time the wedding comes.
No, I mean,
the wedding's just a stepping stone in what can be the rebuilding of you guys' relationship.
I just see them as two separate things. I really do. I mean, you have an issue going on with your cousin. You got to work out whatever that relation, because you want her in your life.
And that's what this is about.
It really is.
The wedding is, again, being the ghost of Christmas past, maybe. But we have a lot more wedding ones, so we're going to keep on rolling.
Okay.
I hear your take. It might come into play in some other ones. We'll see. It's a big theme, So moving on to story number 2.
Okay.
Number 2. Hi, Jerry and fam.
Hello there.
I need some fatherly advice because I don't think I can come to my own dad with this. I, male 21, have been with my boyfriend, male 20, for 6 years now, and we plan to get married in the future. We've talked and have agreed it would be best to have a wedding once we're better off financially. But here's my issue. 3 of my grandparents are still alive, but very old. And my grandfather has cancer and isn't doing well. All of my grandparents raised me, and the idea of them not being at my wedding hurts. I'm considering having a wedding this year just so I can be sure they would all make it. But I wouldn't be able to afford much for the wedding, and my boyfriend doesn't think it's a good idea. If we waited until we could afford most of it, I can see that being maybe 3 to 5 years from now. This has been keeping me up at night. I just love my grandparents so much, and my grandpa is like a second father to me. Part of my issue is ever since I was young, I dreamed of a huge wedding and would either put that aside or go into debt to have it sooner. I need some help making a decision. I don't want to regret anything. My ideal outcome would be to wait and have a huge wedding and all my grandparents still be around to celebrate with me. Unfortunately, I can't be sure that'll happen.
This is such an easy one.
Let's hear it.
This is an easy one.
Let's go.
Grandparents, parents, what we really care about is that the children that we have find love and we get to witness them saying their vows to one another and promise each other to one another. That's it. Do we care about all the fanfare? We do. This guy does not. And I can't imagine I'm any different than any other grandparent. I knew my grandmother said, I don't care who, what, anything about who you marry, as long as you have a meeting of the minds. And I am sorry that my grandmother was not physically alive to watch me get married. I am happy that when I get the thought that I want to marry somebody, that I know that they will be a part of that energy at that point in time. The simple answer is, it is as simple as getting a justice of the peace. It is simple as having them sit right beside you or next to you, and you take your vows with the person you love, and they watch you take those vows. You want to have a second wedding and go have the fanfare? Go knock yourself out. My answer is, do it now. Do it simple. Do it basic. And they will be more impressed with the fact that they got to be a part of this intimate wedding without the circus, that they were there with you, standing by you and standing with you at that moment.
Yeah, that's really, really what it's about.
That's the power.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my vote.
Yeah, it's tough because you can do that, but it's really what is most important to you. Is it more important that they're there, or more important that you are actually getting married, saying your vows, doing the whole ceremony and everything on that big wedding day? Do you see it as those are mutual? They have to be paired together? Or do you see a world in which you could do the small intimate wedding and then also celebrate down the line as like your 5-year anniversary, you throw a huge thing?
That's what I would do.
But does that, it comes down to the person though. Like, does that feel not authentic to you? Or would that be fulfilling because you made sure your grandparents are there? 5 years down the line, they could also be a part of that.
Absolutely. It's a bonus. But the bottom line is they got to witness you with your person saying, I do. And I promise this is my person I'm holding that, again, back to holding the hands, walking through life with.
Yeah, I mean, this is something I've really taken into consideration because having my grandma at our wedding is so important to me. And I really did toy with the courthouse wedding. Like we couldn't get it done in time. But like, if you can, I think a courthouse wedding is beautiful. Honestly, I think it's kind of the way to go. You do a small intimate thing with the people that matter most, and then you throw the party and really make it what you want it when you can. Like it's so important to have the people you want there and let the party come with time, because weddings they're a little pricey. So
I know when I get if I were to get married tomorrow, I know it'd be very, very intimate.
Yeah, a little courthouse.
It probably would be.
There you go.
Rabbi's office.
There you go.
You would just call us and be like, hey guys, I got married today.
Well, I don't think I would just call you and say I got married today. I would definitely probably say that there'd be a very small package of people. And obviously I would have my kids with me, and it would be very intimate.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be a circus. I can tell you that right now.
But keep us posted what you do. I think you have even a ceremony. You don't officially tie the knot, but you have a ceremony. You exchange vows with everyone. That might be a way to do it, and then wait to like do it for real. But I think I would do something to commemorate them, your relationship, and all of it. But okay, let's move on to number
3.
Number 3. My sister invited everyone in my family to her wedding except me. How do I move forward? Hi, Morgan, Justin, and Jerry, longtime listener of both podcasts. I look forward to them every week. First time submitter here, and I could really use some outside advice on this situation because honestly, I feel completely blindsided. I, 25 female, am the oldest of 3 sisters. My middle sister, Jill, 22 female, is the classic example of a middle sibling. Rebellious, bold, outgoing, and always trying to be the most different person in the room. Growing up, we got along for the most part, but things took a turn during COVID. That's when I realized she was actively making my life more difficult. Stealing my things and hiding them from me. She took my car keys. I had to use the spare for a week, my student ID, to take the train to see a guy. And the worst, she took my car when she had her own, and I only found out because I found a condom in the driver's seat. Fast forward to adulthood. I thought things were getting better after she moved out, giving us both space. But lately, I feel like I'm the only one putting in effort to mend our relationship. And instead of meeting me halfway, she's built up a brick wall. Every interaction with her feels like walking on eggshells, never knowing if she's going to be distant, passive-aggressive, or just outright cold. She's also made a lot of hurtful comments over the years that make it hard to gauge where I stand with her. When I asked her if I was invited to go dress shopping with her, she shot back, "Bold of you to assume you're invited." Another time, when I tried relating to something she was going through, she dismissed me with, quote, "You wouldn't understand. We have different lifestyles." It's like she goes out of her way to make me feel like an outsider. After all of that, I've still tried to keep things civil. But what happened this week really crushed me. My mom, my youngest sister, Montana, 19 female, Jill, and her fiance, Hunter, 26 male, all went to a hockey game together. Something we've done as a family for years. Jill was actually nice for once, which was a huge shift from how she's been acting lately, so I was cautiously hopeful that maybe things were improving. Me, my mom, my youngest sister, Montana, 19 female, Jill, and Jill's fiance, Hunter, 26 male, all went to a hockey game together. Something we've done as a family for years. Jill was actually nice for once, which was a huge shift from how she's been acting lately. So I was cautiously hopeful that maybe things were improving. But after the game, as we were heading home, the topic of Jill and Hunter's wedding came up. They've been engaged for a year, together for 5, and from the start, they've planned a destination wedding. Given how weird things have been between us, I had a feeling that I might be left out, but I never expected what I learned next. Right there, I found out that Jill had already given out the first round of wedding invitations to my mom, my dad, and Montana. Everyone except me. And apparently, this happened weeks ago. I was completely blindsided. I kept asking for details, but everyone ignored me. It was like I wasn't even there. I shut down, ready to leave, when Jill suddenly pulled me aside, forced a hug on me, she hates physical touch, and said something like, quote, "I know our childhood was rough, but things are getting better. I love you." It felt so fake, like she just wanted to look like the bigger person in front of our family. Meanwhile, not one person stood up for me or even acknowledged how hurtful this was. I've since talked to my therapist about it, and I told Jill I need space for now, but I don't know what to do moving forward. The wedding isn't until October 2026 in Scotland, and they've mentioned a possible reception back home since neither set of parents will be attending the elopement. So now I'm stuck wondering, how do I move forward from this? How do I maintain a relationship with my family while keeping distance from Jill? How do I avoid making my family feel like they have to pick sides? Any advice would be greatly appreciated.
I feel you.
This is bullshit.
Okay. But you know something? I would probably take a different tack than you're taking.
I wouldn't talk to any of them.
My tact is, I'm glad we all have our tacks.
To each their own, as they say.
As a sailor, I would take this tact. Not really react. I would just right now accept whatever her behavior is and just not let it bother you. Just consider the source. Look, this obviously she's got some pain on something that has caused this behavior. People that don't have pain don't do this behavior. She's pissed about something. I don't know what it is. She is being passive aggressive because whatever it is that's stored in her, she's not letting it out. You're not discussing it. And you may have even gone to her and said, is there something I have done? And do we need to have a conversation? There's something that's almost like it's a deep infected sliver within you. And if I could do anything to help, remove it, I'd love to do it. But less than that, don't do anything. Don't react. Don't try to separate yourself from your family. Just accept that, she's got her mishigas, as we use in Yiddish, and ignore it. Mm-hmm. And don't let it affect you one way or the other. She's got her relationship with everybody else. She's pissed about something. She'll either come to terms with it, but if she doesn't come out with it, don't don't keep buying into the pain.
No. What do you think, Justin?
I'm feeling a sense of jealousy.
Why was that on my mind too?
And because she's at this point in life where she has a fiance and she's getting married
Like
first,
that one up, yeah.
it feels like this is a power grab where you can take control over someone or you're taking really a position of power over someone by putting them in this position where you are blatantly leaving them out and making it so obvious, especially in the car and all the things that have been mentioned. It's almost like she's poking the bear, trying to get a big reaction in front of everyone. But it is weird to me. The weirdest part of the whole story is how the family is just like, oh yeah, cool. Yeah, we got our invitation. And there's no mention. And it is very mature, but just very respectable. How you're saying you don't want to make your family choose sides. And I mean, really, you're handling this better than I think 90% of people. I want to know what's happening in the background. I want to know why the family's not reacting. Like, is this a trend? Has this been happening? I know you and her story, but what's the deal with the family? Where have they been through all of this stuff?
Enabling her behavior by the sounds of it.
I just think I think the play here is for you to do exactly what I would not buy into the drama. I would just treat it like it's ineffective. Do not let her succeed in whatever she's trying to do. And the only way you can do that is honestly just let it go and move on. Don't be angry. Just be really a more mature individual. When tangled in battle of wits with a fool and won that battle, you won a battle with a fool. Don't engage. Stay away from it. But that doesn't mean you can't be nice. It doesn't mean just don't let it affect you. Just the more that you pretend it doesn't affect you, the crazier it will actually make her.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing here. I mean, your ideal outcome, I want to set boundaries with her that protect my emotional well-being while still keeping a connection with the rest of my family. I don't want anyone to feel like they have to take sides, but I would appreciate support in figuring out how to navigate future family events involving her. Additional info, I'm honestly not sure if I even want to attend the wedding at this point, but what really hurt is how I was completely left out. The thing is, it was very intentional you're being left out. I do think there's jealousy, there's insecurity, there's something going on here that's just deeply off about her behavior.
Yeah, it's an infected sliver.
It is. And I think you just kind of have to realize not every relationship is meant to be, even when it's family, even when it's your sibling. Like, this could just be a relationship where you two are two very different people. And it's just not a relationship that's good for you, your mental health, all of that. So I think you do need to ignore it. You need to almost treat her like she's a coworker, like she is a neutral person that you have to be around and get along with, but you treat her like oatmeal. And as hard as that is, because you do love her, this is your sister, you want to have a good relationship, it just might not be meant to be. So yeah, I agree. As much as I want you to go nuclear and just like lay down the hammer on them, it's not worth it. She's trying to hurt you. She's being manipulative by that show of, oh, I know our childhood was rough. Your childhood was rough, or you were terrible to me growing up and you're still being terrible to me now. It's giving golden child, black sheep, and you don't need it. So just have your relationship with the rest of your family, keep doing stuff, and just ignore her. As brutal as it might be initially, it will get better. And I do think it'll pay off in the long run. Hey, you want to go to Scotland? Go to Scotland, take a trip and see it. You don't have to go for the wedding. I think she's deeply miserable, and this is weird behavior, and you don't deserve this. It will get better.
I oddly feel like an invitation's going to come also.
If you ignore it, especially.
Correct.
The less you want it, the more it's going to get in her head. Why isn't she asking me? Huh. Like,
I just think
there's
it's some
something-
game. I don't think she literally is not ever going to be invited. I feel like it's just some game.
It is a game. This is a game of wits. And the only way that you can really is do not get in the game.
Yeah.
And the only way that you stay out of the game is don't play the game. Just be you, be the best of you.
Yeah.
And don't have your relationship with your family. Don't make them pick sides. Don't complain to them. Don't do any of the above. Don't engage.
You know what, though? Like, I know, here's the thing with this one, too. If your family is going to continue to enable the abuse your sister is subjecting you to, because this is not nice. This is kind of psychological abuse. And by the sounds of it, you guys are trying. Maybe there's context, maybe there's bigger fights, maybe there's other things that justify just her wanting to have a boundary and not invite you. I don't know. But the rest of your family is kind of enabling this. And if they continue to subject you to hurt and we're all going to the wedding and like, you might want to distance yourself from them a little bit too. Feel it out. But it sounds like your parents aren't even going to the wedding because it's an elopement that's far. So who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares?
Not me.
I'm like, you want to come to a wedding? You can come to our wedding. Justin, as long as you'll dance and have fun and party. That's what we're vibing with.
And drink
Yeah.
margaritas, apparently.
Our signature drink, we're going to do mezcal.
No, he's got to have a margarita.
Oh, yeah, you'll have a margarita.
Because that's the classic Jerry drink.
Yeah.
Mm.
Nashville, you had like 5 margaritas. You were really fun at that show. But keep us posted what happens. I think you have like a really common issue people have with family, and maybe the wedding is like more niche, but like people do have this issue being excluded by family. And I'd love to know how you handle it and how things work out. So please keep us posted. Anyone who's written in, we have a separate form in the description for the episode. So go to that one and submit your update. But we're going to move on to story number 4.
Number 4.
What number? Put those fingers up again. Let them know. 4.
It's like golf. 4.
Hi, Jerry, Morgan, and Justin. I've been a longtime listener of THT and just recently started listening to FKS over the last couple of months. Welcome. Morgan, I'm sure you already know this, but you are so incredibly lucky to have such a gem of a father and mentor to guide you through life. Listening to Jerry's words of wisdom have been life-changing for me. I'm writing to ask your advice on how I can build up my self-confidence before my wedding day. For context, I, 28 female, am eloping with my fiance, 28 male, in the summer of 2026. I have struggled immensely with body issue my entire life, and I currently struggle with things like hyperpigmentation and acne scarring on my body. This has caused my self-confidence to plummet over the years, and I've become so self-critical. My fear is that I will let this take away from the special day and either not fully be present or not feel beautiful in photos. Over the next year, what can I do to get myself into a better mindset and build up my confidence? Any help is very appreciated.
First of all, the guy that you're with is the only guy that matters. And he obviously knows what you look like and what you feel like. And it doesn't make an effect on him at all. And if you feel that there's things that you want to do for yourself, then you do it. But if you're worried about, and I understand about the pictures and all that stuff, back to the circus. But the most important thing is really just being with the person that you love and you're walking down hand in hand. And it's really what's important to the two of you as a unit. If there's things that you feel that you want to work out, you'll have to go either come to terms with it, of what you are, and that nobody's going to be judgmental, except that if you're judgmental, then you'll have to go see what you can do about it with going to different treatments.
Mm-hmm.
If that's what's important to you.
Yeah.
I really think it's just a lifelong lesson that we all learn. And it takes a long time because I don't know if you ever truly, maybe at some point you can truly not care what anyone thinks.
Mm-hmm.
Down to your deepest core, truly not care. It's just, I think, so built into us from the time we're young that, there were times in elementary school, middle school, high school where one comment from someone about something and it sticks with you the rest of your life, no matter what it's on you, if it's negative.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you kind of go your whole life learning to love yourself and all of yourself. And I think, it's something everyone deals with in some sense.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a long journey, but I will say after going through certain things in middle school and high school
Mm-hmm.
and getting to a place now where I would say I'm moving much more towards that, like, I don't care if someone has something negative to say,
Mm-hmm.
especially regarding appearance. It's just, I'm living my life, doing my thing, and I think it's so much not what other people are thinking, but it's what you think of yourself.
It is so true.
And when you can,
That's hard though as a woman.
it is.
Like, I
but
think especially as a woman, like you guys have such different
Wiring.
like body standards and like the way people talk about women's bodies. Like it is like, as you said, like ingrained from a young age, almost this like self-conscious and hyper awareness of how we look. It's challenging.
None of us like the way we look. I got to tell
Why
you,
is that?
I don't know, but it's really funny that, I'd see pictures of myself and I go, God, who would wants to look at that?
What is up? Like, are we not supposed, maybe we should never have invented mirrors.
I don't know. And then also, this is really interesting. And by the way, this is where I'm going to go with this. I don't like the way I sound. I hear
no one
myself.
does.
And
But how you sound isn't actually how you sound because of the difference in the way that your voice reverberates in your ears.
well,
it's the bones vibrating.
The bones.
it's the bone. So what's really interesting is that people say, we love your voice.
Mm-hmm.
And I hear it and go,
I feel the same way.
And so
Editing is brutal.
the best thing is that we are our worst critics. People out there who love us, who are going to be at our wedding, who are going to be in our lives, they love us the way we are. We don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
So get your confidence of just being, this is who I am, and that's it. And I'm okay with who I am because look who you are. You found a person that loves you. You're giving love back to people. You're sharing. You're doing all the wonderful things that make us a good person. And what we look like, that's just nothing but skin and bones. It's a shell. It's not really who we are in our essence.
Mm-hmm.
And that goes to shine because anybody that I've known in my life, and when I find their essence, we lose what they look like. We don't even pay attention to what they look like. We're never judgmental on that. We just look at them and say, God, they're a great person.
Yeah, and that's really nice. I will tell you right now, wedding dress shopping has been very, very challenging for me. I struggle as well. Like I've got stretch marks. I don't like the way my arms look. Oh, I need chin lipo. Like we all go through this, and like there's going to be people on the other side of this camera that are like, Morgan, you're being crazy. You're beautiful, whatever. We all go through it is what I'm saying. And I think the best thing is like try to find ways that are going to enhance your confidence. Like this is going to be a lifelong journey. As Ben said, we are our own worst critics. We recognize that. But okay, what can you do to feel the best? For me, I know I'm going to feel the best with a dress that makes me really comfortable and like accentuates parts that I like and maybe hides things that I don't. My arms. So I went that way. I found a dress that makes me feel really good. It could be makeup. I've seen wedding makeup artists that are like, transform this bride with me. And it was a makeup artist who did her sister's makeup, and her sister had, I think like a birthmark or something on her face. And her sister just really wanted that covered for her wedding day. And so her sister did this amazing makeup and like really did what the bride wanted. And you couldn't see that birthmark. And that made the bride feel incredible. So I think there's things you can do to feel great on your day. And you can start testing them now, doing makeup trial runs now, doing those things. But ideal outcome, I get to a place where I'm not allowing negative self-talk to impact my wedding day. I can be fully present and feel comfortable in my own skin. Additional info, we'll have about 15 immediate family members present for the small elopement. So some of this anxiety I'm feeling is due to that. I'm actually very comfortable with my imperfections when it's just my partner and I.
Mm-hmm.
Just pretend it's just you two. There's only 15 people there. And you're going to be most excited to hold your partner's hand and looking at them and just let that little love bubble catch you and kind of ignore everyone else. I think, being comfortable in your own skin, it's something we all struggle with. We're all working on trying to get there. And I think therapy, I'm trying to get there. That's what I'm doing. But it's tough.
Yeah, I think as much as it is a lifelong journey, I think it's good to check in once in a while. And this is a great test. This is a nice little test for you to see if you can get up on that day and be like, you know what? I am me. This is me. I'm going to go have the best day.
Absolutely. That's the mindset I'm taking.
So it's like, I think that's what I was trying to lead to is, hey, we may never get there to where we look in the mirror and we're like, yeah, that's you at 95 years old. You're like, I'm here. I don't give a shit what anyone thinks. But I think it does make life a lot easier when you start to just not care what everyone else thinks. I try and think about that. I mean, that's not to say be an asshole, and go out and be a terrible person. It's in the context of if you got something negative to say, it's just going to bounce right off me. Like I'm not going to absorb it all and have everyone else be able to take me down. So I think you're going to have an amazing day.
It's going to be magical. Moving on, though, to number...
we're going to go to number 5.
Number 5. Keep us posted.
That's like...
Again, share what you did on your day.
That's like this, number 5.
Number 5. Number 5, but Justin's got to go to work, so it's just Dad and I finishing this one out.
I said I can make you disappear. Look what I did.
Made him disappear?
I did. I told him I would.
Gone. Okay, number 5?
5, cinco.
Should I invite my parents' boyfriend and girlfriend to my wedding? I'm getting married in August, and I'm working on solidifying my guest list. My parents have been divorced for 6 years and are both in relationships, but have not been remarried. I do not get along with either of these people. My dad has been with his girlfriend for 6 years, since before my mom moved out of their house, and she lives with him. My mom has been with her boyfriend for over a year. I do not have a good relationship with either of them, and neither do my sister or my parents with each other. They were in tears the last time my mom and his girlfriend were at the same event. I'm being pressured by my fiance and his parents to invite them as they are friendly with them and do not have any issues. Ideal outcome, I don't want to invite either of them, but don't want them to show up thinking they can come, and confronting my dad and her not being invited makes me uncomfortable. Additional info, I feel that inviting them will cause drama between many different people, and neither of them will fit in with our small guest list. I do not spend time with either of them. My dad doesn't invite me to spend time with her except for Christmas, and my mom's boyfriend does not respect my request of not bringing up topics that make me uncomfortable or not doing things that I do not like in my own house.
The easy answer, it's your wedding. It's your party.
Your day.
Your day.
Your day.
At that point, they can certainly, decide if it's important for them to come without them. I mean, obviously you made it really clear. I don't want you to come with them, but then you have to live with the idea that if they decide not to come without them, that you're okay with that.
Yeah, that's a reality you could face. You could have 2 parents that say, well, my partner's not invited. I'm not coming. That's disrespectful to me. It's just, is it worth it? You can have a day of coordinator. So if there's any drama, if you do invite them, the day of coordinator can say, hey, I'm asking you to leave. Thank you. We're not dealing with this.
Mm-hmm.
I like to believe that people do keep it together typically for weddings. I know Justin and I have been anticipating a little drama. You kind of strategically seat people apart, or, you give them a talk before and you say, hey, any drama, you will be asked to leave. That's something we're doing. So you can do that, but it's your wedding day. You can do what you want, but also it's your wedding day. You probably won't interact with them very much, but it'll be an amazing day. Don't let people stress you out. That's the one thing about a wedding. I think we give other people too much power over our day. Let that shit roll off your back like a duck. Tune more into your person. have another glass of champagne or a mocktail or whatever you're having and ignore them. They're irrelevant.
That's right.
Irrelevant. Like, yeah, they're your people and your family and whatever, but on your day, like, they're relevant. It's really about you and your partner and your love. And people only affect you how much you give them the power to.
Mhm.
Like, I know it's hard. That's really hard to say, but that's the reality. So I would have a conversation with your mom and your dad and say, hey, I really don't want Julie there. I don't want partner there, whatever, and see what they say. If they take a stand, then you have a tough decision to make. But then you're going at it and, hey, you try to do it ideally how you'd want it. But then you have to pivot. And
There
then
you
you
go.
have a day of coordinator and a security person, and it's going to be good.
I mean, I liked your idea. Let people come. If they misbehave, they're going to be asked to leave or escorted out.
Bye.
End of story.
Yeah, you're done. No 3 strikes, 1 strike. You're out.
Yeah. Are we going to have number 6?
We are.
All righty, we're rolling number 6.
Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
Dear FCast crew, first time writer, long time listener. You guys are awesome. I need some advice. Me, female 35, and my fiance, male 32, are having a hard time with a particular issue on spending time together. We have a wedding coming up in May that we are paying for out of pocket. We agreed that we would both work really hard to make this happen. That has become very true. Both of our schedules are pretty booked throughout the week with work, fitting in any additional things like chores, and taking care of our dogs. My fiance recently got a new job doing sales for a startup company. He also runs his own small business. This leaves very little time to spend together. The issue that I am having is he doesn't seem to put any effort into making time for us to spend quality time together. His schedule is always fluctuating, and he says he has to be really liquid. I know he's working hard to get the money together for our wedding. Am I wrong for wanting to spend more time with him? I feel like I am begging him to hang out with me, yet I am also trying to be understanding to both of our demanding schedules. He still helps around the house and takes care of our dogs. Part of me wants to be told I am being needy and that this is normal. The other part of me is concerned that maybe we are not a good match with our idea of how much time we should be spending together. Thank you for your fatherly advice. I never had a father who cared, so it's great to have someplace to go. Ideal outcome, I can learn how to be okay with us spending time apart, and we live happily ever after. Additional info, we communicate and are both willing to have hard conversations. With this subject in particular, he says he hears me and it sucks for him too. However, I don't see that in his actions, like planning something special for us, although we both are trying not to spend money. My head is spinning, and it's not the first time we've argued over spending time together.
You know, as a team, you guys have set a priority.
Mm-hmm.
And, that priority takes discipline. So do I believe that it would be wonderful that you guys can take more time off and do these things? Well, apparently that's getting against the priority. So what is your priority? Maybe you need to change the priority. Maybe this size of this wedding is overwhelming, that it's destroying you rather than helping you. So you guys got to make that decision together. What is the important thing here?
Mm-hmm.
Because you may have a great wedding, but neither one of you are going to show up because of the stress that it caused to get there.
Yeah.
You obviously relationships need to be nurtured. And, sometimes it's good enough that we can have our crazy work schedule, because sometimes life, in order to live and survive, you have to, make sure you provide for it. He used the word, I need to be liquid. I don't know if that's financial he's saying, or he needs to be fluid, that he can, that you guys can adapt.
That's what I was getting. Yeah. Liquid. I haven't heard liquid before, but
I think he's trying to be fluid. He's trying to flow to feel where you guys can, find time for one another and sneak it in. It's wonderful that, that you guys can hopefully meet up in your nest at 10 o'clock at night and wake up in the morning and have 15, 20 seconds that you can be together and at least hug each other and kiss each other and say, God, we're about to go do it again. And I love you, but we got to get up and go.
yeah.
And it sucks. I get it. But if this is a goal that you guys are working towards together to have this wedding, and that's what you want, and that's your priority, then you got to do it as a partnership.
Yeah. I think it's tough. You really kind of gave me a curveball here at the end where you're like, also, it's not the first time we've argued over spending time together. So if it's a common issue that you've had your whole relationship and spending time together is important to you, it is tough to evaluate and then say, well, damn, is this my person? Your wedding's in May. It's April 24th, though. I think you love this person. I think he's doing a lot, a full-time sales job and a small business. It is a lot. It's hard to manage and maintain. There might be a breaking point where one's got to give, or he scales back and is part-time on both. I don't know. I can really relate to you right now because I feel this way. I feel like I am burning a candle at both ends. Justin's burning the candle at both ends, and we cannot find time to do certain things that we need to do, whether it's just getting our wedding invitations out. We still don't have those out. And it's really frustrating for me because I'm like, okay, we need to get this done. You need to come home early from work so we can get this done.
Mm-hmm.
And we're both just really struggling to find the time right now. But I know this is a season for us. This isn't going to be the norm. Like, we're not going to be normally planning a wedding while we work full time as well. So I look at it as a season. And maybe this is just a season for you. You know, you guys have made it this far. You clearly love each other. New job is always more stressful. Wedding. You're both taking on extra hours maybe to pay for this big wedding. And I think you do need to ask yourself, a lot of, you guys out there listening, what is this for? If you get to the point where you get the big wedding, but you lost your partner along the way, what is it really for? The optics of having a big wedding? The circus, as you say? So you have to ask yourself, like, what's really important here? Are you getting married to have a wedding, or are you getting married to have a marriage?
And by the way, life is going to give you these curveballs consistently where we are going to, we haven't even talked about kids yet. We're just talking about the wedding. Let me explain to you what happens when you start having a life, and if children should come into your life. All of a sudden, you function as one, as that pair, but the focus is really about making sure that Morgan, Taylor, Matthew, everyone gets to where they have to be, and you are going like this, let alone worrying about each other, because we are exhausted by the end of the day.
And that's a thing. Couples oftentimes forget to prioritize each other when they have kids or when they have other things.
Or when they have a wedding.
And you said here, you're not afraid to have hard conversations. You're both willing to do it. So sit down and have a hard conversation before this wedding. And you say, hey, we need to prioritize each other. I know we have a lot going on, but we still need one night a week where we go out and we just have 30 minutes of at least quality time, checking in, connecting. You have dogs. Take your dogs for a walk, go to a park, throw a ball, and talk and connect. Me and Justin, we connect over horse chores every night. We could be so busy, but we still got to go outside and take care of the babies. So we go out there, we're cleaning poop, catching up, talking about our day, and it's still like, it's nice. It's connecting. So find a way that you can do it right now in this busy season. And if he's not willing to put in time, then yeah, maybe you call it off. But
you guys have to figure out how to manage these moments. And that's important. And that's the conversation. And let's set our priority. Is it us? Where is our priority? Is it us? Is it a wedding? Is it a thing? And that's what you guys got to do. Okay.
Yeah.
Are we going to have a number 7?
No, not today. We are headed to Patreon, though. You've already recorded one with Justin. Now you're doing one with me.
Okay.
So we're headed to Patreon.
Let's go do it. We'll see you at the other side. Join us if you haven't joined Patreon. Come check us out.
Yeah, and we do have weddings theme number 2 coming. So if you have a wedding coming up or you're having any wedding issues, write them in. But otherwise, head over to Patreon.
And we'll see you on Weddings 2.0.
Bye.